Good afternoon. Phil Lindeman with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. This weekend was the slowest since November on the I-70 Mountain Corridor. Just over 95,000 cars passed through the tunnels Friday into Sunday. That's down 5% from last weekend, just about equal to the same weekend last year. Compared to the busiest weekend of ski season back in March, traffic was down 35% by nearly 50,000 cars. That's about the population of Eagle County disappearing from the road. May is historically the off-season for I-70, but off-season has changed a lot in the past decade. Between 2003 and 2013, average daily traffic in May was just about equal, 24,000 cars. By 2014, it started growing by about 5.5% annually. It peaked in 2018 with 31,000 cars daily. It then plummeted in 2020 during the pandemic, and now traffic is growing again, back to its 2018 highs. Summit County wants to learn more about microtransit. The county has just released a proposal for a microtransit study. This service would likely bring on-demand shuttles and minibuses to the county. It could make life easier on locals who live far away from bus stops. Summit County is the busiest district in the nation's busiest national forest. The White River National Forest draws 17.6 million visitors every year. Nearly half of them, 8.4 million, come to the Dillon Ranger District. Most of those visitors stop at ski resorts, but more and more are going to local trails.
All of those things come together as both concerns and opportunities.
That was Frisco Town Manager Tom Fisher. Frisco is working closely with the forest on a management plan for the woods south of town. It's known as Frisco's backyard.
Very heavily used, and I would anticipate that it will continue to get heavily used.
Trails in that area between Mount Royal and Gold Hill drew 183,000 visitors last year. That is up substantially in 5 years.
There's going to be change. We have to jointly, between ourselves and the U.S. Forest Service, look at the management of this area differently.
A large piece of Frisco's backyard plan is trail work.
We want to see trails enhanced or protected.
But, says Fisher, those improved trails are not only for hikers and bikers.
We want to see access to that area for fire mitigation reasons or for firefighting so that we don't have a catastrophic event.
This plan also includes forest thinning, most of it concentrated around Miners Creek Road up to the Peak 1 base area and over to Ophir. The Forest Service is taking comments now. Latest report on the Summit Rotary ice melt device shows it is still above the ice on Lake Dillon. By this time last year, it had fallen through. In sports, the Rockies are playing the Pirates right now in Pittsburgh. 4 Summit County locals were just named to the U.S. National Ski Mountaineering Team for next season. A big shout out to Sam Burke, Grace Stayberg, John Rowan, and Arthur Whitehead. And in local sports, Tigers baseball is playing Middle Park away today. Girls soccer ended the season at 6-8-1 with a tie against league-leading Palisades Saturday. Girls lacrosse ended at 1-14. They got their first win against Montrose on Friday. Boys lacrosse ended winless. Sophomore Ella Hagan and senior River McClung dominated at the Western Slope League meet over the weekend. Ella won the girls' 1,600 and 3,200 meter runs. River won the boys' triple jump and the long jump. Finishing top 3 were runner Laura McCullough, hurdler Cam Fox, and distance runner Dom Ramikas. Phil Lindeman with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.